Running out, it's for real though. Let's connect. Politic Ditto. Sam is running out, it's for real though.
Hello.
Peace. What's going on?
Welcome to Politic Ditto. It's your boy Bam and E.
Just that.
And we're here with another episode of Politic Ditto. There's a lot going on in the world today.
It's part 4, right?
Yeah. I mean, even though we haven't released the other two, but we about to get back on our grind with that.
A lot going on. Shout out to all the people breaking out of prison this summer. Let's do, you know what I'm saying? My man El Chapo.
Okay, yeah, so people don't know, Joaquin Guzman, El Chapo, the head of the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico, he was in prison. He was previously on the run for like 13 years. Mm-hmm. He got locked up, nigga escaped through his shower, tunnel underground, like mad intricate, you know what I mean? So, well, what's your take on that, E?
I think he has a lot of money to break out of prison. I think he paid people. I think they helped him. And I don't think they're going to catch him. And, you know, shout out to him.
Well, like, what would you think, like, would be the first thing you do? You think he got plastic surgery? Like,
being that he's Mexican, he definitely had plastic surgery. He's probably somewhere in California, very low key. I mean, this guy's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, he has millions and millions of dollars. They said part of the reason why he was able to get out because his cartel perfected that tunnel shit. You know, getting drugs through the border, so they knew how to, like, you know, they had lighting, they had, like, infrastructure, they had, like, sound engineering.
He investigated, like, 20 inmates, not 20 COs, I should say.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Like we were talking about earlier about corruption, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I found out police in Mexico got to buy their own bullets.
They got to buy their own bullets.
Yeah.
They don't provide bullets?
No.
Well, then that explains a lot.
yeah, exactly. So you can only imagine in a place where you got to provide your own bullets where they don't give you money just to look the other way. You kind of got to look the other way. You know what I'm saying?
So I do all this to get the job. I want to change my country around, do the right thing. And you mean to tell me so that there's no union, I got to pay for my own bullets. Sacrifice my life.
I don't think the federal union is too strong. You know
it makes a lot of sense why people coming over here trying to find a better life.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you know, El Chapo threatened your boy Trump, who we talked about last week.
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah, so
Republicans are staying away from him now.
Well, actually, you know, he just became number 1 in the national polls.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he leads all Republican nominees right now for president.
That's all entertaining. That's all entertaining.
But to me, it speaks more volumes as to who is behind this nigga. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you hear the latent racism when you hear the talking heads talk about, oh, this speaks to a certain anger. This taps into a certain fear. Because they don't want to say, yo, there's a lot of motherfuckers out here who are racist. And they want motherfuckers out here saying racist shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why they support. They want to say so they use coding like that, like white people who didn't want to vote for the first black president. They say, well, you know, some people feel uncomfortable with the changes in society. You know, the same thing applies to gay people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people couch it. That's why people hate when I compare the whole gay black thing. And I'm not comparing it to as far as the same effects, but I'm saying when you use the same language. Yeah. You know, people say, yo, society is changing so much. Yo, for hundreds of years, niggas had to be in the back. And then one day, literally, white people woke up and niggas was right next to them, all right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, fuck you when your society's changing. You know what? For the person who wants the society to change, it ain't that quick.
It ain't that quick.
Yeah, you know?
So, like, what was that Democrat lady that was running with Hillary in the beginning? She said some things about Obama. Geraldine Ferraro, I want to say.
Wait, no, Geraldine Ferraro she ran for vice president in '84 with Walter Mondale against Reagan. Yeah.
But she had said something on the borderlines of what you was just talking about when Hillary was running for president. They asked her about Barack. Can't quite remember.
Oh, you talking about back in 2008?
Yeah.
Oh, she probably said some slick shit. Remember,
but that's the same thing that's going on now. You know, they're trying to justify what racism is or what's not racism. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That nature.
Exactly. And, you know, my big issue with this shit is that, you know, like, there's so many people that will couch their racism, or like my new approach is, call it race, call somebody racist and be like, I don't have any issue with it because I got to deal with, like, y'all are racist. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, some people are not activating it, but it's like even black people can't see how they're a tool for white supremacy. So now when people say, black people can't be racist, I'm not even going to say it no more. You know what? A black cop can be a tool for white supremacy. A black Supreme Court judge, like Clarence Thomas. The whole thing is,
he clearly.
The whole thing is, I think we as black people look at it wrong. White people say, well, black people are racist. We say no because we thinking
because we're not the oppressor. We don't have the power.
Because we thinking that it's us oppressing white people.
Yeah.
We say, black people are racist. Yeah, black people oppressing other black people, which are white people. Yeah, see, so we should agree with them like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's the way we should flip the argument.
True.
Because they're really trying to flip us on that shit. And Trump really is tapping into a fact that, these people are mad that, a nigga is the president.
Yeah. And they just trying to do all and blame kind of things on him at this point. Like, all the things that he's doing, what's his point, his goal, you might not agree with it. For instance, what is it, the prison thing that he said, he promised that he reduced certain sentences in a time period. That's his goal. You don't have to agree with it, but they're saying you should focus on this. Look what's going on with that, with the Marines in a sense, or the.
And what he's trying to do, just to clarify everybody out there, is that he wants to reduce or commute sentences for non-violent drug offenders who, if sentenced right now for the same offense, would already have been out because of how much time they serve. So, like, if you got caught in, say, like, 95 with, like, a brick, and they sentence you to 35 years, and right now if you're caught with a brick, you would only do 12, and you already did 20. He's saying, get the hell out. You already did what you would get caught. You know what I mean? And you're not violent.
Yeah.
Or you're not arrested, or you're not charged with anything violent.
And his goal was 89 people, and I think he's at 46.
Right. I mean, he's doing what he can. Like, there's a lot of black people that bash Barack, and I mean, I think, he has to work within the system. I don't look for him to, like, be some type of... I look for him to be more of a symbolic change than substantive change, because, the system just not designed to work for us, So unless we're willing to wait, you got to wait, 300 more years.
The thing that pissed me off was the fact that he went to Oklahoma, and then, he's there for this purpose, for whatever was going on with the whole prison thing. But the fact that people that are standing out there with that Confederate flag just in front of them, like, and my thing is, he's the president. Like, how is it that you can't move these people away from that?
Well, first of all, you gotta let people have to have the freedom, because when people are saying something that you agree with, you don't want people saying, well, you can't be near the president. So you gotta, so that's part of give and take. I mean, the greater question is, if Oklahoma became a state in 07, 08, why are people having a Confederate flag out there?
Yes.
You know what I mean? You weren't even a state in the South, A. You weren't in the Confederacy, B.
You mean you had nothing to do with the actual war?
Yeah, so your only thing you're doing is either saying that fuck the government, which is treason, or fuck niggas, which I think is the B. I think it's the latter. You know what I'm saying? So, like, a lot of people are just finding ways to be able to say nigga and to be racist without necessarily being, without saying nigga, you know what I mean? And that's what Obama tried to get across a couple of weeks ago when he was like, just because in polite society you can't say nigga don't mean shit ain't changed.
Yeah. Shit is very fucked up. It's very fucked up.
And you have these presidents like this guy Scott Walker, who's running for president.
Yeah, the Republican. I was
from Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin, and I'm just like, so that makes 14 total now?
It's too many. But this guy is the whitest guy ever.
Is he?
Oh my God, he talks like this, in Wisconsin, and the good people of America. Like, it's disgusting. Like, he just has mayonnaise all up in his mouth. Like, he's just a fucked up dude. Like, but this dude is anti-union. You know what I mean? Off of voter ID. And see, this is another thing people get fucked up with voter ID shit.
But his first sentences was, America needs new, fresh leadership with big, bold ideas outside of Washington. Don't they all seem to say that, though?
And see, nobody ever says, well, why do you want to move to Washington? If you're so anti-government, why do you want to head the government? Yeah. Like, why does anybody say that? Like, why something that you think is so flawed do you want to be down with?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, but this guy, you know, him and his voter ID rights. And see, this is a big problem. Like, okay, even though I don't vote, I'm not a big voter.
You gonna vote this time?
No.
Wow.
But the issue is, no, you know what? When I get, like, I'm trying to get, like, a summer home in, like, either New Hampshire or Vermont, like a winter home there. Especially if I get one in New Hampshire, I'll vote because, remember, the primaries in New Hampshire. So every 4 years, like, presidential campaign candidates go to your house and, like, knock on your fucking door.
Okay.
So I want to be that one black dude in New Hampshire, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be on TV. Like, I'm gonna say some shit, yeah. But in New York, everybody's voting Democrat. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean?
I'm independent and I'm a vote, and I'm just voting against the lesser evil. So if Hillary is the one that we gotta get in there, then fuck it. There it is for me. You know what I mean? I'm not enthusiastic about the people that's running.
Yeah, see, and that, you know, that's a big issue, I think, because, you know, people are releasing information like how Hillary Clinton worked on Barry Goldwater's campaign in '64, and Barry Goldwater was like was a racist, and you know what I mean?
It was 1964, correct? You know what I mean?
Okay, but there were still niggas smart enough in 1964 to be like, yo, I'm not going to at least be on a record doing that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
We all agree that you do jobs that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? And
but this is a job she volunteered for. Like, she chose to do it. Like,
but she got to get her feet in the door.
But you know what?
She got to learn things.
But there's a lot of motherfuckers who are like, yo, give black people rights, who are more than willing to have Hillary Rodham from University of Chicago Law School, from Wellesley. Plenty of people like, please come work for me. So, I mean, Barry Goldwater.
Maybe she ain't know. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I know that's a hard thing to do on politics.
Now, I know. I would rather say that. I know. I would rather agree with that. She did it for a job, and she didn't necessarily agree. It was a job.
Yeah.
Which is almost even more scary because that means that you will go work for Rush Limbaugh, even if you will go work for anybody because it's a job. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
No. So that means a Mexican American can go be the head of Trump's political campaign, and even though he says all this crazy shit about Mexican, dude be like, well, it's just a job. Like, at some point,
it's got to be for a purpose, though. Some things you do to get leeway and to get a step above and to learn things, and sometimes these things happen, and she could have been in one of those situations.
But also remember, this is politics where you're saying that I do my work because of conscience, not like you want to be a beat maker. You know what I mean? If you love like Mobb Deep and all that shit, if Tone Loc wanted a beat from you, I don't think in your conscience you can be like, you know what, I sold out to the world because I made it. Because if you feel you made him a good beat, you made him a good beat.
Yeah.
But as a politician, you know, it's kind of hard to be like, I stand for values, and then say, no, I just did that for money.
Well, at least she did it when she was young.
Right. And you just say you evolve, but
yes.
Then they're going to look at your husband, record how he declared, Confederate
Barry,
Day.
who was this guy? Barry.
What you talking about?
Who she worked for us?
Oh, Barry Goldwater. Barry Goldwater ran for the nomination, and I want to say 68 against
Johnson.
No, it wasn't against Johnson. It was against maybe it was against Johnson. Maybe it was against Johnson.
Johnson had to been in there. Kennedy.
No, Kennedy was already gone. Was it Goldwater against?
Get Jack on that information right there.
Oh yeah, Jack, you want it? Yeah, okay. So let's look up Barry Goldwater here. Ding. Okay, so yeah, Barry Goldwater ran in '64 against
Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon Johnson, you're right on that one, and he's just an asshole, and he wanted to do rollback. What they said in rollback, I think, was basically he appealed to white Southern separatists. He didn't want niggas coming up and niggas having rights and shit like that. So for her to go work for him. I mean, we let Strom Thurmond come into the party, you know what I mean? So, I mean, niggas forgave fucking Dylan Roof, so, I mean, whatever, you know what I mean? I can't even get involved.
We all ain't forgive him, but, hey.
Yeah.
Crazy thing.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We come back. We're going to get to when we come back, E.
All right.
What topic we're going to talk about when we get back?
The weed breathalyzer. You heard about that?
No, that's scary.
Yeah.
But I think we should touch on that.
Sandra